All right, guys, I'm going to play the theme song again.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey folks, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. This is the retrial. We finally got the workout this time. Rich, are you ready to do the show for real this time? Not for play, for real.
Yes.
Yeah, we have people on the stream thinking that we've never done before. We've done this literally dozens of times, literally hundreds of times at this point.
Amazing.
And we're fucking this up. Back in the day, like it was like the first few years. It used to be great. I used to fuck up the intro all the time. I had to run it back 2-3 times, and that was not any pressure. Just like actually have to do it live. Now we're doing it live. I think it's the first time we ever fucked it up. So, Rich. You mentioned
that was just my dedication to DJ Drama and Jeezy. And I'm an affiliate, Hitman.
God.
I'm an affiliate.
You know what?
Run it back.
It's funny because he dropped when did Snowfall come out? Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That came out. The intro Snowfall came out, and I think he gets like what feels like maybe damn near 32 bars, and then they bring it back 32 bars. And it's before the beat actually drops. Like he raps for a good long stretch before the drums kick in, and the drums and 808 are incredible in that song. They bring it back all the way, so you may sit there for like 3 minutes and change until the beat kicks in, and they're like, "Well, what was that even for?" We're doing one of those. So yeah, sorry for those that are watching the stream, even the podcast. I don't know how you would go back to watch that debacle, but it was a debacle nonetheless. So, Rich, where do you want to start?
Oh man, so we got a lot to discuss. This is going to be probably the last One Nation Radio of the year, because like you look at how everything is breaking. Of course, next Thursday will be Christmas, and then the one after that will be New Year's. So yeah, we gonna go ahead and do our holiday getaway.
We will see you guys hit review Wrestle Queendom in Wrestle Kingdom.
No World's End?
That'll be also included. Maybe, it's a Sunday. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Look, after what I lay out today, I don't even think we may not even need a review of World's End.
Well, I'm
going to tell you.
We might need to review just for the fact of like, for those that listen to things, we're rarely ever hard on AEW. Just wait. There's real, throw some ice or throw some acid on them potential with that one. So we'll see. Into the gulag you go, Tony Khan. We'll see though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's been a weird month. Like I said, I was sick. I went to AEW last week, and we didn't review the show last week and all that, and we're probably not going to and all that.
No.
Last night I got through the MJF promo, and then I had a sudden urge to not want to watch the show anymore. So I watched about one more segment, and then I just couldn't focus. So, like I said, I'm just getting over being sick. Went to Florida for FOH. We recorded another epic FOH draft in the history of FOH. I figure we can start by kind of recapping what we did there. The FOH draft is a paid only show, pay what you want type thing. Get sold on the Social Suplex Pay Hip thing, and people showed up we did it live for the first time this year, and we had a lot of people show up to watch it live, paid their ticket, and watch us drink, watch us have fun, watch us yell in the camera. It was really fun, man, and we just actually unleashed the audio version today, and that is doing very well as well. This is the biggest FOH year thus far, and relatively quick. Like as far as how the success of it. It's been really great, man, and I've appreciated all the support that's come with it because we put the option out there. If you want to hear it for free, you can, and people choose to bless us, and we don't charge anybody anything all year, and it's kind of like a thank you kind of for all year we do all this kind of entertainment and great analysis, I say, as a network. And as far as keeping it strong style, One Nation Radio, you're going to hear some other holiday shows pop up from some of the other shows as well.
Right.
But this one, it felt like a lot, got to travel to go there now. Like, these things aren't just easy to pull off because I insist on doing FOH in person. And unless it's like there has to literally be a pandemic for someone not to be in person at FOH, seemingly. We did our first call-in ever at FOH. Floyd handle, went crazy for us. So shout out to Floyd Johnson. I had a blast.
That might have been the top moment of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he would fight CM Punk. It was amazing.
Fire flame spitters.
Yeah.
He gave CM Punk the business.
Yeah. So, man, I had a blast, man. What about you?
Yeah, I had a blast as well. It always works. Even when I'm thinking, am I really going to get riled up about anything? And it turns out next thing I know, I'm ranting for a minute and a half about something. So yeah, it always works out.
Yeah. Ooh, baby. Yeah, man, this is, oh, baby, I'm getting messages right now. Jesus. Never mind. But yeah, as far as FOH goes, make sure you guys, if you haven't heard it, it will be in the notes, in the links. Go to the Discord channel. We started the FOH lore thread, so people can, talk about the various things from past years of the shows as well as this show, stats, cool, funny moments, anything like that. Lore wise, we got a discussion channel now, and then we have the nominations thread. So we've kind of had to split this up because the FOH channel in the Discord became just so large and overwhelming. Everyone just literally took it literally and started dropping anything world event wise in the FOH channel. It was like, all right, we kind of want to make sure we can find the wrestling stuff somewhere. So we created a discussion channel. We got the lore thread for the shows. So thank you guys once again for supporting FOH. And it was a blast to do. And it was there's always real talk at the end. There's tons of jokes. There's Jeremy and Josh gave us they finally got us back as far as the shirts and all that.
Yeah, they certainly did.
It was funny.
Do you have it on hand by any chance?
I actually don't. It's downstairs.
Okay.
So I'm not taking a walk for that, but
it's a nasty shirt.
One of these weeks.
They got us. They got us.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, nasty shirt. Good job on them. They use a lot of Rich's weaknesses against them. They made a shirt in the style of the Indiana Fever's colorway and font and logo to get back at us. Good job by them. Nasty work by Zach, double agent, double booking both people. He's Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
he's done.
Zach be turning us against each other, and don't worry, we gonna put him to work this year to come up with something nasty too. So next year at the 10th anniversary of the FOH, we gonna figure it out.
Oh man. All right. So, anything else we need to talk about before we get to it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
actually no. I think that's it. So we should
Okay.
start with like I want to work my way and make sure. I would love to start with the MJF thing, right? But I need to work my
Hmm.
way up to it. Like, so we're gonna start
Okay.
over in WWE land with John Cena and his last match against Walter, and the reaction to it, the review of that match, and honestly, man, I saw it, I watched it, I thought it was a fine match, maybe like 3 3/4, maybe a 4-star match even.
I was thinking in the range of four. I actually watched it maybe like an hour or so ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just like, okay, like when you think about it, just in a vacuum, just of what that match is, like the match, there's nothing wrong with the match at all.
Yeah. They're
But
playing. He's playing all his greatest hits, and yeah, he's playing all his greatest hits. It's basically like AA's versus power bombs.
right, and eventually, obviously, the huge finish here is that he taps out to
Yeah.
Walter, and he looks kind of weird while he does it. It's like it's almost like
He,
immersion breaking, I'd say.
I mean, from one perspective, you could say it's almost like he's accepting his pro wrestling mortality. Is like he's fighting, and then like it's like the stage of grief, and like he's and like when he makes that face, it's like acceptance. I'm tapping out.
Yeah,
Now that's one way to look at it. There's other ways to look at it where it's like, if this were someone that was less giving than John Cena had been historically in his career, right? Like we would be like, oh, this is like the equivalent of someone getting pinned and standing right up after they get pinned, like Austin Aries did, all right, or like Hogan kicking
yeah,
out at 3.1, right, against Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6. We were thinking like, oh, okay, or Muto out there when he tapped out to Kiyomiya, and then all of a sudden he just walks off, right? We'd be like, oh, okay, you on bullshit. And so, depending on how you feel about John Cena, whatever else, or how you feeling with it. I mean, obviously the finish is controversial because like John Cena losing isn't the controversy. It's the part where it's like you made him tap out. You didn't have to do
yeah.
that. You didn't have to go do
Correct.
all of
Someone
that.
decided this,
Yeah,
and
that was a choice.
and and John Cena actually ended up giving his own reason, but I don't know if we can necessarily trust anything John Cena says because
I didn't
he's
hear
John
that.
Cena. So
I
I
didn't
got it
hear
right
that.
here up on the screen, right above us. John Cena gives his reason for smiling before tapping out to Gunther. For the last 5 minutes, I preach everything I preach about story and drama and having a conversation with the audience. The ones I love are in the front row. I know my colleagues are watching on the monitor back there. We're just in a sleeper hold, man, but we're having that conversation with the audience. As I essentially take my last breath, I have struggled. If you think of somebody, the natural causes scenario, or how we picture loss in our life, all of us have been through it. They struggle, they hang on just long enough to make sure to say goodbye to everybody that's been meaningful in their lives. And that whole day was so unbelievably vulnerable, meaningful conversations. And then you realize I've connected with everybody I love. Physically, I feel great. I think it's time to take that last breath. And that's that. I hate to keep going back morbidly to obituaries, but like this person died peacefully. And knowing that, like, man, we are in a good place. We're going to be great going forward. The bottom of the t-shirt says, I gave everything. Thank you for everything. And in that moment, that was that, going peacefully. Now, when I see that, those are his words. It was his match. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But I think the problem, and obviously, like with the tap out, and then subsequently why it ended up a Paul Levesque boo session and everything like that, is because there was no story for any of this. Like, this guy won a tournament at the end randomly to get a match with John Cena to tap him out and make him quit. Like, there's not necessarily like a reason it was done. This was chosen.
There is reason for it, but it has nothing to do with John Cena. It has to do with propelling Gunther forward.
Allegedly, because where's he
Right.
going?
Right. Because it's not like he's going to win the Rumble because it seems like they're going to do Cody and Roman Reigns again 3 times in 4 years.
Right. And for me, like, I see it, and then I'm like, never give up is this guy's entire ethos in something that is valuable, I think, in a vacuum, right? Like if you're going to bring John Cena out as an old timer or just preach like the never give up thing, if you protect that legacy, there's no telling how valuable that is for you. Now, like, obviously, you can do what you want or whatever and still have him talking about never give up. But then at the end, you're always going to be like, yeah, his last match, he fucking gave up. Like, it's just going to look dumb, right? But I mean, you're supposed to sell and protect that history, right? Just how they, like, kept buying back in on Hulkamania for years and years.
I'll go a step further. With his connection to all those Make-A-Wish grants he did, or visits he did with people, like the never give up thing was a real thing. To keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and then ultimately at the end of it to be like, never give up unless Gunther got that bicep around your throat, and then you must let go. He tougher than cancer. That's nasty. That's kind of nasty. You're right. You're kind of right.
Imagine if Gunther had been built up at all for this thing, to where it actually felt like, yeah, he didn't tap out to the Yeet Man himself at WrestleMania. He didn't lose his Intercontinental Championship along the way. Like, the entire thing of why, and we'll get to Paul Levesque coming out there, showing him the video. I know John Cena thinks this is a load of horse shit. He's been spending months on interviews telling you guys how much he is not enjoying himself and is embarrassed with this and how slapstick, haphazardly this is thrown together. This is a charade. This is a sham. This is just Paul Levesque putting himself over again. He's the first nigga through. When I think of John Cena, do we think of Triple H at all? He's the first nigga through the curtain.
Except for, WrestleMania 22, but outside of that, no.
Like, he's the
first. Hold on. There's also, what was it? It was WrestleMania 24 as well, too, right? Triple threat with Orton?
Yeah.
So, like, they got two WrestleMania main events together, but, like, it's been so long that, like, when they did the whole, like, the video package, I don't know if you saw, but it's like, you see Miz, right? You see AJ, you see Rey Mysterio, you see AJ and Rey Mysterio together talking about, like, people that were actual real deal contemporary. CM Punk. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the last person the same two of the last people we ever hugged. If Danielson was still around and was, he would have been in the crowd too, whatever else. Like, people that were actual real deal.
Dog, did you see that
only
shit?
Person that was missing. No, I haven't.
I would say they asked Danielson about Cena's retirement shit, and he was like,
"Oh yeah, he said, yeah.
I ain't got no internet."
Yeah, he's like, all right. He put one of those. He's like, yeah, I'm back in the woods again and shit. Yeah, my dad was a lawyer or whatever the fuck. Yeah, he the only person that was really missing that you'd be like, why wasn't he there? Would be like Orton. Really?
Yeah. Well, Orton was in Saudi Arabia.
I didn't know that.
He was there for that Mr. Beast shit. But yeah, like, so Triple H is out there, and then they're like, let me show you this video or whatever. And the whole thing he doesn't give a speech to the crowd at the end. And then it's like, hold on, bro. You think about the heel turn, you think about all the bullshit, and it leads back to Paul Levesque. And I don't like to admit this publicly, but I clicked on a Vince Russo video today talking about John Cena. And I was like, I wonder what Russo has to say, because Russo's been banging on this Triple H thing for quite a while. And it's a broken clock thing. I hate to say it. Like, Russo kind of had, Steve Richards on there. They kind of had a point. They pointed out something with Gunther being sent to ESPN, right? And to promote the last match with John Cena. And Gunther brings a gift. And it's like, okay. He's giving it to like Stephen A. Smith and, the First Take staff. And I'm like, well, what's he going to give him? Is he going to give him like, tickets? Is he going to give him some type of memorabilia from WWE? Like some, kind of general whatever package or whatever the fuck. This nigga pulls out this glass case and it's a Triple H sledgehammer. And it's like, nigga, we don't give a fuck about none of that. Why would they give a fuck about any of that? To promote the John Cena match, like some John Cena thing. We need to care about Paul Levesque's sledgehammer and all of this. Like, bro, I know they had to be looking at, when Gunther left, they had to be looking at each other like, what the fuck is this?
That's
absurd.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it don't make much sense. You're right. Like I don't know. Maybe it's like a thing of like
a mental illness with Triple H, bro. Like how much does he need to be appreciated and loved and keep platforming himself?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think the thing that is lost in this is like the whole branding of "you're the guy" thing. Like that's how people got to the Vince, and only Vince's opinion matters in pro wrestling for the last or since he bought the company in the early '80s, right? Like it was putting himself forward in that way. Triple H is doing it in his way that he thinks updated for the 2020s, and it's just more invasive than before because there's more places to see it, right? Like. So yeah, I agree. It's nasty. Like I don't know why he would sit. Yeah, I mean maybe. I mean I'm sure I can come up with some Nazi connection for why they brought Triple H. Triple H's gimmick with Gunther or whatever else for why they decided to do that because the whole thing if they give him a Nazi name whatever else. So I don't know, but yeah, man, it's I'm with you. It is odd. It don't even if it was well intended, it comes off a way. And I don't, and at this point, I don't think he deserves benefit of the doubt that he didn't mean it well intended. But even if you were to give him that, it still would be like, well, even if that was, people were looking at that like, what? Why? Why won't Gunther say something?
Yeah, and I just think people like the culmination with the booing where they're chanting "We want Vince" and they're chanting AEW, and then he's trying to play it off like I thought y'all would be louder than that, and he is like I said, it's a frustration with the lack of a story for the match. It's a frustration with Cena's entire final year and them never having a single plan, like a straight line plan for all this. Like you should have I listened to our segment from July 8th, 2024, right when Cena announced the shot. I just decided to pull it up today. And we damn near called it beat for beat. We even mentioned Walter or whatever during it. And
okay.
The thing was, it's like there should have been somebody where they should have had the opponent picked out, the building, the dates. Like they didn't even attempt to run some stadium show in Boston or anything. Like they didn't do any of that. They went to New York for SummerSlam and all that, but they went to Raw over there, and then they decide the Washington DC thing because they think they're gonna get Donald Trump to show up, and he even tells them to fuck off. So this is if this is the way this guy is going out, this was horrible. This was shambolic, and they deserve to be booed out the building. And luckily, Gunther is as good of a wrestler as he is, and Cena was capable enough to make it to where the match presentation itself was presentable and stuff like that. And it was a fine match. It'll stand up with anything John Cena's ever done.
Yes. Yeah, it's we talked about this ever since he basically moved into semi-retirement after WrestleMania 33. He's basically been kind of awful. He's basically been awful, varying degrees of awful, except for really that SummerSlam Cody match in here. Solo Sikoa, your boy Austin Theory, just ass cheeks. He was a flat out crummy, shitty wrestler the last 7 years of his career, except for the very two last matches that mattered the most. Pretty much. I can't speak to it. Maybe I'm speaking out of hand. Maybe the AJ matches were killer. I don't remember them. But yeah, it's been so at least he went out, at least he didn't embarrass him on the way out. At least we got that one taken care of. Now we just got to worry about getting through to January 4th with no embarrassment at the end of that one. And then we'd be like, all right, two of the all-time legends in the history of pro wrestling went out on a high note. So we halfway over that. And it's gonna be so in that way it was a success. But the decision for a lot of people, especially this WWE, dog, they not as high as they were a year or two ago, and it has to do with the part where the bloodline got broke up. That has to do with the part where all these storylines are running way too long for people's are burning way too long for people's attention spans and interests. And like you have this part where like this year their shows, their biggest shows were all bad. Almost all of them were bad. I think there was like one or two shows that are exception where they weren't just shit. Right. So you have that, and like the ticket prices have gone up even more. People are going to people are starting to realize, and this is starting to come at the time where it's like, hey man, and people are starting to be like, hey man, we're paying all this money, and then at the end of the day, you can't even send us home happy. Like you gave us the worst possible outcome out of a John Cena return match. Not only does he lose, he taps out. You could have had him pass out. You know, you could have pinned him. And there was a good part. There was a good section at the beginning of the match where Gunther was dominant. He's hitting with power bombs and clotheslines over and over, refusing to pin him. Just saying, "I'm going to make him quit." And then at the end of it, the fucking heel made his promise come true. He made one of the greatest baby faces in the history of pro wrestling quit. He quit. He broke him. Like he did everything. He did basically everything except break his back, like he was Bane in Batman.
And then they do the fall. And he walks his ass out the ring or whatever, and then you don't even think about him again.
And the part about this is the amount of money people spent, the way that crowd lost their shit when he came out, the way John Cena milked that interest, entrance. I can't say that's up. Like the way he did everything perfectly, the way that crowd he had them in the palm of his hand, eating up everything he did throughout the whole entire match, the whole presentation. For that to end with tap out is like, and they spent all that money. When they cut the Halliburton sitting on the floor, and you look, he was like, I can't believe his face. Even he's like, bro, I could have. His face was like, I could be rehabbing my fucking tournament.
It's like he misread his audience. I think we can look at it whether it was the right or wrong finish. Like I think it's based on how the audience receives it at this point. And if you're playing that's playing the result a little bit, yeah. But like I think so many people have made such a huge thing of this time honored tradition shit. Like it's like time honored tradition. That's bullshit. People change and do different shit thing all the time. Like.
And also it's a Vince thing more than an actual time honored tradition thing. A lot of guys go out on top. It's either or actually.
Look, guys win last matches. They have like tag matches and win those. They have retirement matches where they lose. They have retirement matches where they win. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And it's a gross misreading of the audience to think that audience wanted to watch John Cena quit. They didn't. Like And quite frankly, it's their fault that they were in this situation to where it's like now they have to scramble and try to create something for Gunther on the way out of this, but there's really nothing to create for him. And that heat is on Vec. And then just everyone that's around him, all right, it's like he's cut off from the world title probably. He's going to be cut off from the WWE title. None of the top guys want to work with him.
I agree with you. As far as it's bad heat and it's most in the company, except for he came out on Monday and the crowd treated him like it was Roman Reigns being Undertaker after WrestleMania 33. We're like, we think you just retired a legend. We're pissed. And like, but I'm back. But after I say that, I'm back to your point where I'm most believing he's boxed out because it looks like Roman Reigns and Cody are making odds with each other.
Yep. Like that like unless he fights Brock Lesnar, but then it's like,
but Brock ducked him.
Exactly.
Brock ducked him how many times? Like at what point are we gonna be like, okay, he is like Brock Lesnar has clearly like looked at, even though obviously Brock Lesnar shouldn't be in the fucking company, that goes without saying. Like Brock Lesnar clearly has a level of I can choose who I want to wrestle, and just like how he used to skip Bray Wyatt all the time, it appears he's skipping Gunther. He doesn't want to do that match.
Look,
I believe when I see it.
I feel like all those top guys like are skipping that guy because like this is a Triple H guy, seemingly, right? Like this is like Triple H pushes this guy harder than God for the moment that he's pulled up in NXT, and then he saved him, essentially gave him the life raft once Vince was gone, and he was able to just like kind of hold on to him somehow. They've always kept an Intercontinental title belt on him so you could never beat him. You put a world title on him after that so you could never beat him. But like at the same time, notice how there's never been the extended Cody and Walter match. They do this in Saudi Arabia. Like Roman Reigns has avoided this man like the plague. Like Seth Rollins don't be around Walter like that. Like it's interesting to see, like, because people swear some huge, massive heel is going to be created. I don't think it is. Like, remember how fired up people were for the New Day turn and everything like that? This is the biggest heel turn of all time and all this other shit. And then 6 months later, it's like, And then the reluctance for so many people to really, like, commit to this. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it just feels like this is another thing that Paul Levesque is whiffing on. And
Triple H has no benefit of the doubt out. Triple H has no benefit of the doubt outside of knowing he's gonna do something with CM Punk, Cody, Roman, and I guess Brock now because Brock's back. Like the stuff that he's doing right now, like the Cody and McIntyre thing, like that smells Royal Rumble, and then McIntyre's gonna have to scramble to figure out where he fits in for WrestleMania season.
Like McIntyre and Walter are on the same level.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And the same, and then the fun part about it is like, yeah, and the fun part about it is like they're the two best over 250-pound pro wrestler workers in the history of the company. Both of them. They're 1 and 2. Meanwhile, they keep fucking bending over backwards for Roman and for Brock, and it's like them are the bigger stars, whatever. But it's like, how about you put them in the ring with those guys, let them have some good programs and matches? Here's a thought. Oh, they don't want to do that anymore because they're part-timers and they actually have to work hard? Okay, gotcha. Great. Awesome. Fantastic. Real fun.
Yeah.
These pay-per-views suck? I wonder why.
It's the arrogance, man. It is a lot of arrogance coming from Triple H, and I think some of this stuff is obviously less is coming out because those press conferences are few and far between, but he shows up on their panels and tries to make it very safe. But we already kind of know how they feel about, like, they don't respect the time or the money of the fan at all. And
no,
you know, whether
match pay-per-view.
What's up?
4-match pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, like get the fuck out of here with that. Like I don't. It's. I would say like you know, in one sense, like that stinks that Cena kind of had to take the rest of this, but look. John Cena, it just seems like he was just enjoying being in there or whatever, and he's not going to really fight it too hard when he really could raise a big stink. Like, yeah. I just struggle to think of like what the political.
He's only the biggest pro wrestling star in the last 20 years in the industry. He's only that.
Right. Like I struggle to think like, you know, does like when it all goes down or some shit goes left, who does John Cena call? Does he call Dwayne Johnson and then be like, you know, what's up? Like, you know, like who wins the political thing? Like, or does he just not even try to do the politics stuff and just be like, you know, I'll just do whatever you tell me, Paul? Because I don't know.
So did you see the thing or the clips of the Cody podcast he did that came out like recently?
I've been seeing them emerge today.
So it's obviously there's different time, different. Ever, it seems like he's in part now. He's like, whatever you want to do, I'll just do it. And then like, because I know that like when this shit goes left or whatever else, I can just tell people that you fucked it up. That's what it seems like. So he just shrugged his hand, like he said, like when he talked about like the Travis Scott and Rock thing, as far as saying like, you know, people were asking, you know, what about this and he's like, we never even like got me and Cody never even had a conversation about like the potential of those two. It was all about like if we don't,
what do we do together?
You know, the beat goes on. It's like, you know, because it's like we can't depend on that because like it turned out it was right. Like it ain't gonna fucking be here. So yeah, it's John Cena during his whole entire retirement run has been like basically saying, "Hey man, he's basically been like politely burying Triple H every chance he gets." Brock came back. That was their decision. Whatever.
Yeah. Look, Anwar Sarway and Cena might be saving that for a book someday. Maybe.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah. So, John Cena,
Godspeed. Whenever that book come out, it's gonna go too.
Yeah.
One thing I want to give John Cena credit for. Hey man, he put Gunther over like a god. Like he sold his ass off for him. He made him look dominant throughout the entire match, and gave a lot to Gunther. And as you just mentioned, all the other top guys in this company aren't so willing to do that with him. So shout out to Cena for that one on his last match out.
Yep. So
if Gunther gets anything out of it because he decided to pick, he was put in that position, and John Cena said he's good with it. Whenever it seems like all these other guys not so keen on it, not so keen on getting power bombed and German and choked out and all that shit, and John Woo drop kicked and shot.
Oh man. So I guess we should move forward into what do I have next on the list? Oh yeah, let's do it. Swerve Strickland. We had a question come in from the Discord channel, and I kind of want to pull up some visual aid. I'm saying, hold on one second. Alrighty, so this comes from Sachin in the Discord channel. They basically put a forward quote. Once again, I would like to have a conversation about Swerve Strickland's booking from 2024 to the present. And I asked, what is the question? Because it was a thoughts thing. Sachin says, Swerve Strickland's booking post Hangman Cage match. I have felt it to be, especially after the recent Dynamite, to be critically or criminally underwhelming. Swerve has gotten better in my opinion, but the booking around him has gotten worse. He's still a top guy, but him continuing to lose feuds over and over again can't be good, right? So, appreciate y'all sending the question in. So, I don't know, man. Like when I first got sent this, I sent this to James earlier, and I explained like a couple things about how I kind of thought about it, and I was like, I guess where I land on it is, unless you wanted him to be the champion during any of that time period, then sure, you can feel underwhelmed from that. I felt like Swerve has been essentially like this kind of get out of jail free card for the company. Like if you are basically like if you got some shit that is going to piss the crowd off, throw Swerve in there because Swerve's over. Swerve has credibility. He can work at the top level. Just like Jon Moxley's title reign is on fire, put him in a main event with Swerve Strickland. You're sending people home with that terrible 3-way result at Revolution. Send Swerve Strickland out to attack Jon Moxley at the end of the show to go off with the fans happy, right? The Moxley match itself, that match essentially split the All-In card, like basically. It leads to the Bucks coming back. So like, I still feel like he's being used at the top level as a top star. And unless, like I said, unless you wanted him to be the champion, which the only time that I think I've kind of rejected whatever booking they were doing with him was I thought he should have either fought Hangman at Wembley or retired Danielson. Like, those are the things that I was upset with. Everything else kind of ho-hum for me. And like, I'm not like crying for him in that sense because he's still over. He's still a star. And I would say we'll go through it, but the other black mark I would probably say is the Lashley thing. But do you put that on Swerve? I don't.
So as you mentioned, like they basically handed him grenades. They treated him like he's like J.R. Smith or he's Jamal Crawford in a shot clock, and they're pretty like. And then it was 2 seconds left, and we have to inbound from our opposing baseline. Throw me the ball, I'll throw it up there. I don't give a shit about my free throw percentage or my field goal percentage when it comes to that. Like, yeah, man, that's what they've done with him. And in a way, that shows that they trust him a lot, but also in another way when like you tell me things that you're privy to or whatever else, but like I'm also in a way able to like sequester that and put that into a neat little box, put it to the side and say, all right. So I understand what you're saying. I get it as you functionally have to have people do these things to make programs and whatever else and help people get over here, there, when it's their time, blah, 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 blah. But also now, if he's a top guy, how many times are you going to beat him until he's no longer a top guy? And I'm not saying he's there yet. What I'm saying is can he win something of meaning aside from a tag match versus the Young Bucks in a whole year? Because that's what happened to him last year. Like, he loses the world, like, you go back 18 months, whatever else. He loses the world title by tapping out. Okay. He then goes to Cater, his biggest rival, the biggest robbery in the history of the company, and he gets a fucking steel chair bashed over his head, and after getting spiked with a syringe and all other shit, and he loses. Then from there, he gets attacked by Bobby Lashley because MVP keeps trying to give him join. He says no. He gets whooped by Lashley. Then we fast forward to he's wrestling Ricochet. He loses to Ricochet, puts him over. He gets the win back later on to go towards a title shot. He loses the title shot because the Young Bucks show up. Then he fights with Will Ospreay, and he helps his biggest robbery, who fucking killed him in the ring, win the title. They starting the healing process towards emotionally healing from being damaged people. Fine, whatever. So then, at some point, I'm losing track of where we were. I think he was off for a little bit of time, but at some point, like he loses them. Or when did the Wardlow thing? Explain to me what the Wardlow situation was again.
So
did he lose that match when Wardlow showed up?
He lost against Okada because he
lost the match to Okada
with the knee.
Right. He lost the match to Okada. Then Wardlow shows up, beats the piss out of Nana, and then takes him out. And then like Wardlow gets hurt, and he's off TV. Now he's come back here, and presumably he's not winning the title. So we just covered like basically 18 months, some stellar wrestling, a top act, very very much still, but like. If this were happening in WWE, I don't see how we wouldn't be like, oh yeah, they're treating like Seth Rollins.
They let Seth Rollins actually win sometimes.
That makes it even worse, Rich. That's you know what I'm saying? Like it's oh yeah, he's the guy that we put in these matches that have good match people and they put people over to get them over and get them ready for a certain spot. Like they're treating him like he is what do you call it? He's kind of served as a gatekeeper in a way. Or somebody that helps propel you to get you next level. Like gatekeeper, I think more in terms of like Claudia's more of a gatekeeper, but whatever. Like he's a person that he's almost like the finishing school. Like you're ready for the main event, are you ready to get elevated to a certain level or get pushed or whatever else? They send you to the stimulus man, Swerve Strickland. Similar, and Adam Page has done that too. Ospreay has done that too as well, right? Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody earlier on, right? Everybody has their time to do it, but it's like it's kind of jarring that he went from he was a champion, he's one of the better champions the company's ever had to having no beach for 18 months. And then when you get injured, you come back, we finna beat you again. Presumably.
Yeah. I said, I don't know. I guess I just look at it like everyone can't be the champion. He wasn't
right.
He wasn't
but
like
it seems to me
like the thing is like once you do Death Riders, right? You're essentially cutting off exits for everybody, right? So that's how long that was. That was damn near 10 months essentially of that time. So you can't win the world title. The unified stuff you're probably not going to do. I would say his biggest kind of thing would be the Ricochet thing. I think that was like a really well received feud, and I think maybe the Swerve's to speak to like what he could do is maybe he could be more selfish, maybe, right?
He could be like, hey, we maybe like we could put like 2 stars together and have a singles match doesn't involve one of the 15 singles belts we have. How we just have a good one? I was saying maybe he's like, hey, how about we get a single star and a single star and they have a feud that doesn't involve a fucking belt? One of the 20 singles belts we have on the men's side. How about that for a change?
So I'm looking at like the different stuff on here, and he's
and this isn't it. I'm sorry, and this is also like another part where it's like, all right, well, Orange Cassidy came back. Then hit the ground running with that. Kingston came back. You can't tell me they really had something really super planned for him outside of that match after and Winter's coming. Like it's been a lot of like these returns for these people that mean something to people and fans in his company, and then like they just kind of and and it annoyed me when like Swerve comes back after that terrible finish, to save the day again, and then they have the tag match, and then it leads to it's 4-way. It's like, all right, well, okay, there aren't any rankings, so I can't be like, why the fuck is he in this match? He ain't done nothing. All these other lost all his feuds in the last year, but they don't have rings anymore. Because he damn sure will be ranking top 5 and showing up. Like, hey, bro, how about you get some wins before you get into this match?
Well, the thing is, like, I don't think you can not make Swerve a star by beating him, because he became a star when you beat him anyway. So,
but we can't be treating everybody like Daniel Bryan. But you can't be Daniel Bryan booking everybody. That's the fucked up part.
We're talking about him.
This is ruined pro wrestling in a way.
This applies to him though, because like if he didn't matter, people wouldn't have went crazy when he came back. Like that return was massive. But I don't know if
I'm not saying he don't matter. I'm saying value the people that get these kind of reactions. Stop pushing Swerve. Stop using Swerve and Hangman Page and Will Ospreay as your jobber to the stars. We're never actual fucking stars at this point. You don't find that annoying? That's fucking annoying. I want to watch one of the best wrestle, and they tag on this fucking company. They're the best. Why are they not proceeding to be wrestling at the top of the card? Right? Samoa Joe champion? Fuck off. I'm sorry, fuck off. Fuck off.
Like I said, like I don't think a lot of this stuff is stuck to him personally, because I just kind of look at it like, are you like, do the people still go crazy for you? Are you still being like put in big positions? Yeah. Are you putting people over that either like I'll know, like you brought up Heyman a second ago, right? I think Heyman and Swerve are in radically different positions right now, especially like going forward.
Okay.
And I wouldn't worry about Swerve, because ultimately I think character-wise, he's not right now, how can I say this? Like ultimately where he will be. So I think there's like more to come, so to speak, with him. And if you're someone that wants Swerve to be the champion, absolutely get mad, get upset and everything like that. But like, I would also ask, like, then you probably should have like went harder last year when he actually had the belt to like, say he should keep it.
2 years ago.
And just like, but you had to get it on Danielson to do the stadium thing. You had to give it to Moxley and stuff like that. And these are decisions that are set in stone, that are like far above his head. So
here's another one, right? So the whole talk was all this shit being set in stone, as you mentioned, right? Darby took his ass up that mountain, came back, won the match versus Moxley, won the Blood and Guts versus Moxley, and then like now he's in the tournament and he just got fucking cussed, and he wasn't gonna win the tournament either. Why the fuck is he in the Continental Class to begin with? Why was he given that, you talk about like Joe's best opponent? His best opponent in AEW is Darby. Why the fuck Darby coming to get the title off of Joe?
Well, I mean, it ain't meant for Darby Allin, which we'll get to coming up.
But we thought it was meant for him until he went up that mountain. He don't come off his plan for champions. All of a sudden, now he wants to come champion off of this one with a perfect layup right there. Oh, you got to transfer to champion. Give it to have Darby finally win it.
I don't think Darby got the stroke like that, and the decision to take the belt off of Hangman Page ultimately was not for Samoa Joe. Even though you watch the show and you see Samoa Joe, just look what happened this week, and you should get all your answers, which we'll get to in just a moment. But as far as Swerve, like I said, I'm not particularly worried about him. I think there have been...
I'm not worried. I'm frustrated. I'm not worried. I'm frustrated.
I think there has been, like, in how AEW works is like, you need people to push for you for things to happen. And there has been, there's been comings and goings of people in that process. And, I think, like, it was hard for Swerve to kind of navigate, while injured, and also before that, to making sure all his stuff, like you look at the Swerve and Okada feud, for example, like what was that? Like that was nobody thought about that. Like I would say, so like, and with Tony, I think he gets very singularly focused, and he has to kind of like remember, be like, okay, I've got like, my main event, I've got all the stuff that's around it, and he's very focused on like whatever the hell is at the top. It's like I think more things have happened since he's come back from injury to get Swerve that attention again. So, what I'm willing to, I hate to say let it play out, right? But you look at all the stuff that's around. I think if you're a Swerve fan, you're going to, like, by the time Revolution comes, you're going to be like, I think I like what he's doing. Unless you want him to be the world champion. That's the only thing, because I don't feel like the world belt's like necessarily like hanging out for him like right now either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So don't get me wrong. Like we just finished, was that Full Gear Live pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Right. And they had like three awesome matches on it, and like a bunch of other great matches on it. Right. Like. Okay, so I'm going to make the analogy that's been floating around the internet, like, because Megan Thee Stallion did the Shannon Sharp shit, and he talked about how, like, and she talked about how, like, because of Clay, like, she's never dated a nice guy before, and everybody was doing doom and gloom. Oh, it's over for Clay. Clay finna get dogged out because of her trauma dealing with these other, niggas that ain't been shit to her for all these years, right? Like everybody, relationships, people got to deal with other people's baggage and the trauma they've dealt with past relationships or whatever else. Unless they go to therapy, or heal. That's what he's go on your healing journey. So like for me, when it comes to being upset with AEW, I always have to remember at times like the AEW Tony Khan AEW is a nice guy, right? Like American Pro Wrestling. And the number back and done us dirty everywhere we ever been. Whether it was WCW, whether it's WWE, whether it was even ECW, we've been done dirty our whole lives in watching major armrest, right? The people that watch TNA, the poor schmucks like Jeremy Donovan, yeah, done dirty, right? Done dirty, right? ROH maybe a little bit better, but still not major armrest, right? So we gotta remember, like all these past relationships we had with these companies, like dogging us out. We got good guy AEW, and we all sitting around like, this is nice we have been treated. Like we complain about stuff. We can complain about stuff like this after they just gave us pay-per-view that had like 5 4-star matches on it, right? That sort of thing. So I try to keep a level head on this and realize, like, hey man, we haven't healed yet from our journey of AmRest. We just haven't. But at the same time, it's like this. All right, man, small things, and then similar to last year around this time, if it ain't going right, the small things start magnifying because we're like, all right, something's not working optimally, so it feels like everything's not working right. So Samoa Joe be the champion, and then we finna move seemingly, to this 4-way where like you're not finna get no super match, and you're not the 3 best wrestlers in it, and there's gonna be some nonsense shenanigans or whatever else to get the match and get it done, and then we move on. It just feels like gonna be unsatisfying, and it's like it seems like we're setting the clock to where like it's gonna be kind of gloomy-ish, until we get to on the road to, and it feels like similar to last year, where it's like, all right, well. You got your multi-person match. People in the multi-person match that lose, they're gonna get a title shot versus whoever's champion. In the pay-per-views following that, leading up to Ospreay coming back, winning the Owen, and then winning it at Wembley versus whoever's champion. It's like, all right, I'm starting to see this 2 years in a row where the pattern is kind of the same. That's not a good idea. You probably shouldn't went this route. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, so
C2's killing though. C2's killing.
Or I guess we'll get to it next. So, MJF returned last night, and did a promo designed for nobody to respond to him. He said a lot of things.
Well, they're all holding mics in their hands,
and they're all in there. as he's cutting this promo, unaware of what he's about to say, I can tell you. He adds himself to the match. Big reaction. He waits until 11,000 people are in the building in England and shows up. Quite convenient, Max. So
I mean, look, he just got back from Turkey. You saw that hairline.
That hair looked ridiculous. Like, that man's hitting that shit with all the Just for Men.
You can see the plugs.
Bro, you can see the color.
That's not a natural hairline.
Like him and Dave Meltzer are doing the same dye job right now.
I haven't seen Meltzer in a minute.
Yeah.
That sounds nasty. It sounds nasty.
Yeah. So Coach K will be proud of Maxwell Jacob Freeman
now. Shit. Well, there you go.
And Coach K only kept natural hair, So
Right.
So basically, he comes back after Hangman cuts a pretty great promo. Swerve cuts another good promo. Joe cuts a promo, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're locking in for the 3-way." And then Max's music hits, lights go out. He did give Joe a hairline. I was like, "Brother, you want to stay far away from the hairline mentions or anything like that. Remove that." But turns out
you gotta remember. He paid for his hairline, so you can say, "Oh, you don't have a hairline because I have a hairline again." Ha ha ha. Okay, cool, bro.
Different standards, I guess. That's two Americas, James. Like
that man got a BBL hairline.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that shit fake.
So he goes in on Hangman. He basically says, "Hi, Seabiscuit. From the exception of this company, you called me a coward. And while I had time off getting my stuff together, filming a movie, because unlike you, I'm actually a star. I'm festering over this, and I realized that Hanging, maybe you were right. The old me would have taken every shortcut in the book to get what I want, but that wouldn't cut you deep now, would it? See, cowboy, I need to hurt you. I can't think of a better way to do it by not just taking that title far away from you, but by beating you and two of your biggest rivals in one fell swoop." Did you feel like he was being a babyface at all during this? Because I've heard people say that. I feel like MJF's a heel.
No, he's a heel he's a heel that always gets suckered into challenges. So like Ospreay and Hangman always sucker him to man up in some way, and then he bites off more than he can chew, and then he fails more times than not. But this is one of those where it's like, he probably won't fail this time, but like is one of those times where he gets asked to step up. Oh, perfect another example. Moxley, we won the title off of Moxley with the ring. With the Regal thing. When Regal challenged him and said, do it if you're gonna win like a man. And he actually went out and won like a man because he's like, I'm not gonna use the ring, and then Regal rewarded him by giving him the fucking brass knucks. What great story talking about MJF and his storylines when he come around this fucking title. Don't you know? It's just awesome stuff. Thanks, Regal.
We'll get there.
That Regal promo was awesome, but like this. I'm not going to cheat. Oh, you're not going to cheat? Here's the thing. Go cheat. All right. Bow. What the fuck?
So we go.
This is Michael Rosenbaum. Hey, folks, let me tell you that drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Then on Joe next, he's like, "What's going on, Joe? You mad? You upset? You gonna quote me a big superhero soliloquy? I'm not afraid of you anymore, but I do still hate you. See, when you took that title from me, these people turned on me. They turned on you before that, Max." Let's be honest, they did. And as much as it pains me to say this about these schmucks, they get to dictate who goes down as an all-time great. And I don't want to go down as an all-time great. I need to. All these people made me question my abilities. Mine. Well, guess what? Your luck is run out, Sloppy Joe. See, I'm about to make you fall back, Joe. Fall back harder than your hairline. Boo. World's End, look at me. The same place where you ended my title reign, I'll end yours. Swerve then said, Gluteus Maximus, if there's anyone that you need to be afraid of in this ring, it's me. I don't know about the Gluteus Maximus line. But he said, MJF responded, wow, fire bars, Shane. You really remind me a lot of this famous musician. You have a lot in common. You both call yourself moguls. You both rock chains. You both use too much baby oil. And you're both dog shit rappers. You're both black. No, I'm playing. I think that's kind of like what he was getting at. But that's right. P. Diddy.
Yeah, I don't recall the baby oil thing with Swerve. I don't recall David Otunga-ism, but okay, if you say so. Like, you got to get in the line. People understand you're going to say Diddy before you say Diddy, and then you get popped for, oh my God, is he going to say it? Oh my God, he said Diddy.
Like, I don't recall Swerve rocking chains either. I know he has the other chain. I never seen Diddy with the chain.
Whatever.
He said, that's right. He calls this man P. Diddy on national television. TMZ Sports picks it up. The crowd then chants like Diddy after. He said pop quiz class, whose house? And then they said like Diddy house or something like that. He said, see, you people know him as Swerve. Since I was 18, we were both grinding it out on the indies, trying to make our name for ourselves. I've known you as Shane. And then he went back to Paige. He said, I went to AEW where I became the biggest homegrown star in the history of this company. Paige just looks at him. He went back to Swerve. He said, and you went over to WWE. Crowd booed. And then he said, hey, it's a perfectly good company. Chill out. He said, and your run there, however, was not great. However, I must say I thoroughly enjoyed you twerking for top dollar. I don't know what he's talking about there. He said, then you came across the street. You came knocking at my door. I let you in graciously, and you went on to achieve some great things. You got jacked, bro. You beat Joe over there for the world title, and you held it for a whopping 126 days. Not bad, huh, folks? And then he whispered 406. But who's counting? He said, now we have a problem. You're in my way. You're biting the hand who feeds you. You're swerving around. And he does the dance like Gritty, like you own the place. He said, you've been a very messy tenant, so this isn't your house. It's my house. The rent is due, and the devil's come to collect. And then, ladies and gentlemen, call me Michael Corleone because in one night I'm about to handle all my family business. And he's basically drops his I'm better than you. You know it. World's End. Be there. I hated all of this. So I saw
some of it was some. I liked the stuff he said to Joe. I liked the stuff he said to Paige. I didn't like what he said to Swerve. As far as because like they've had this back and forth before. Like back when they're doing the who's the devil thing or whatever else. When Paige knocked on Swerve's door, they talked about the NXT WWE thing. He's like, and then Swerve hit him with the line of like, you get callbacks, I sign contracts or whatever else. Like play on that, or maybe he forgot or whatever else. And also I don't like when MJF does the thing of like, hey, we have a history that like we have never talked about up until this point. Like he does this. He's done it with like the pillars. I don't like when he does this. Like he's playing jump rope, he's playing hopscotch and double dutch with kayfabe. Like I don't care about your history. What about your on-screen stuff? How about that? Saying that's what people actually know. We don't give a fuck about you guys having a history in the past. We don't care. I don't care. Do you care that do you care that him and MVP had a relationship back in the day? Do you ever give a fuck about that? All right, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff he does this stuff. Like it's not actually like building. It's not building any depth. It's just wasting time.
You know what that's like? Remember when the game would just name drop all those people in the verses and stuff like that? Yeah, that's kind of his version.
It's empty. It's empty.
But I want that the P Diddy thing. I think is so tone deaf and like, just like, all right, man. Like, this is why I never wanted MJF to ever feud with Swerve in life. Like,
it don't even make it's just like, oh, you're black, so I'll say something from black. Yeah, it's nothing connected to anything.
Like, why don't you just call him a nigga and see how it works? Why don't we go that far with it at this point?
Well, I mean, Well, I mean, you go to his old Twitter history or whatever else, you can find him saying nigga.
469 weeks ago, as we used to say. But I think MJF is a selfish motherfucker that other people are being sacrificed for what's about to happen, right? Y'all just gonna have to walk with me on this and assume you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, follow the clues. Swerve comes back. Oh, we'll go back. Sorry. Samoa Joe versus Hangman Page in the cage. Hook decides the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland returns. Over like a god. They face off. And then they have this mini program with the Ops. All to lead to Joe spinning off. Defends the belt against Eddie Kingston. That's a one-off. Get out the way. It's the same thing like when he defended the belt against Hook last time. It's the same thing. And while we were thinking, what are they doing with Samoa Joe? You saw us a couple weeks ago on this thing. Like what the fuck is this? Turned out it was nothing.
It was like they made him they made him champion, and it doesn't make any sense because there's no future in that. He's a transitional champion.
Turned out it was nothing. And the finish that happened was nothing. Like, this is going to undercut what Hook did. This is not about Hook. This is not about Samoa Joe. Ultimately, this was about MJF to return here. And they did this to keep that contract stipulation warm, to always have it. We know when they decided to take the belt off of Page. And now, all these people are caught up in this. The Ops. With Joe. Hangman obviously is still holding the bag and is going to continue holding the bag here. Swerve's return, where he's super over, and you go to Atlanta, and then there all this other shit. All these people were sacrificed to you for you, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. And now, do you think Max? I'll say this: there is a match that I'm waiting to be booked, and I'm pretty sure it's not happening, right? For next week. And if it doesn't happen, if Swerve Strickland and if Swerve Strickland and MJF are not having a match next week, a singles match, I'll know what happened here. But I think MJF is a selfish motherfucker. All these people have sacrificed themselves in the ring and have kind of just let this kind of happen because obviously decisions have been made. Now, when Maxwell walks out with this belt at World's End, he's going to have to figure it out by himself. Good luck. Because there were people that could have helped him out. Set up things before the belt. Set up things after the belt. Will it happen? I don't know. But I feel like he took advantage of all three of these guys last night in the ring. And whatever's coming back his direction, I hope he's ready for.
He's wrestled 9 matches for this promotion this year. 9.
Not around.
Right. After Page lost the title, right, to Samoa Joe, I pointed out, he's had 2 hiatuses, or actually I looked at it more as there's probably 4 or 5 times where he's like, oh, he hasn't had a match in 6 weeks or more, right? That is nothing. Nothing. Because someone actually called me out on it on our thing. I was like, hey man, relax. I ain't saying he's MJF. And Lord, I know, I was like, I don't even think MJF's had a dozen matches in this company. Found out it's 9. During that conversation. He's had 9 matches in AEW this year. All right, man. Okay. I can see if he's champion, he have a TV match at some point, probably with and get his win back from Mark Briscoe. But outside of that, I don't see what else is there until he just holding the belt until it's time for him to get his main event in Wembley versus Osprey, and he can say, I lost to Osprey twice in Wembley or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, they got him set up.
All right, man.
It's gonna be Ricochet and Bandito next week, and he obviously wants to beat one of them on TV. Never mind wasting a pay-per-view or anything, or trying to actually
I forgot about that
make
part.
some money.
I forgot about that part.
But look, whatever road he decides to take, God bless him. But that world title is gonna be mud, and we're gonna be calling it to the carpet. And maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we just look. Never forget the last time MJF had this fucking belt, they had to create the Continental Classic essentially on the other side to ensure we would see good wrestling on this show. Look, man.
Yep.
People that are happy that MJF is back, fine. Have fun with that, right? But we won't have to worry about Max not getting focus. We won't have to worry about Max not getting his quarters and being the focus of the show. We'll have all that. So if you want the champion to have that, that'll be it. But man, he sure served a plate full of shit the last time he was in this position. And I don't trust him anymore at all. Perhaps I trust him less now than I did then.
Well, I would have trusted him if I thought that, like, oh yeah, he's gonna wrestle, the people that he actually is on his best behavior and wrestle like a Osprey, like a Page. But it don't sound like that's gonna be coming for him during this title reign, so it might be some bullshit like last time.
Yeah.
And if this time it fails, he should never be champion again. He needs to take his ass to WWE. And he needs to get Rad's fucking tattoo on his way out the door to WWE.
They have ultimately decided to take this belt off of Heyman Page for fucking Diddy jokes and whatever the fuck else he comes up with. And we know all the ideas that Max typically comes up with are bad.
Sloppy Joe. He said Sloppy Joe. Got to remember that one too.
Oh, Sloppy Joe. This is ultimately what it was for. It was not for Samoa Joe. It was not for Hook. It was not for none of that shit. Like, ultimately, they were taking the belt off of Heyman. And Heyman now, let's get to him. Josh on FOH, you're going to want to hear that. You're going to want to hear it because he lays it out so plain and so proper, I can't do it justice. But, brother, it feels like his push is over.
For now, at the top, we'll have to rebuild again, and then I guess he'll be shot. Then he got over again, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that a member of the elite got over in All Elite Wrestling again. What a shock! I can't believe that one of the best wrestlers of this generation got over again. What a shock!"
So, have at it. Look, TK, you making a bad decision. All you got to do is look at the landscape right now, right? With everything.
Oh! Are we going to get a MJF versus Bobby Lashley pay-per-view match?
Ooh, we better see it.
Happen?
We better see it, right, James? We better see somebody willing to do some business, right?
After all that bullshit we saw in the first half of 2025, yeah, that's exactly what we should see. That should be one of the very first matches.
Yeah, run that. Oh, Bobby Lashley's injured. How convenient. But man, I think you look at the wrestling of like around the world right now. WWE is in fucking free fall. They're on fire right now. Like basically like they're having a hole burnt in their pants.
On fire in a bad way.
Correct. Like the house is burning right now. Mm-hmm. So why you want to go back to MJF, the person who started like causing all this shit in the first place, to like go the other way for AEW before Samoa Joe rebuilt, before Swerve Strickland rebuilt it, before Bryan Danielson helped rebuild it, before Heyman Page helped rebuild it. Before Will Ospreay helped rebuild this shit. Before the Young Bucks went crazy rebuilding this shit this year. As far as in the ring, before Jon Moxley decided to come up out the slumber, essentially.
Do you remember when Drew Brees won Comeback Player of the Year in a year where he wasn't injured?
Yes.
Jon Moxley's Comeback Wrestler of the Year in a year where he never got injured.
That's great.
What a shocking thing this year was for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And why you want to go back to MJF in the middle of this, I have no idea. Like, someone
Throws for the take.
Look, I've talked to people, several people, and they don't understand it either. So, you know, we're going to have to find happiness elsewhere.
So, I talk about this often. High leverage situations.
Yeah.
We talked about the John Cena situation, a lot of the unhappiness with WWE. And there is the most legitimate alternative to WWE/F since WCW closes doors, right? And at a time like this, it's high leverage where they've gotten past the Cody in WWE situation, the bad PR from Brawl Out and CM Punk departure, to be in a position to where we have better wrestling them on a week-to-week basis, or we do not have nearly as many unforced errors as far as our booking than they do on a week-to-week basis. We don't overprice our tickets and piss off the fan base on a week-to-week basis, right? We have all these things going in our favor. And at a time like this, after they just did it with John Cena, when it's time to strike where the iron is hot in a high level situation, they choose their top star, their least consistent top star, to potentially crown to make this run during this era. Like, I only trust MJF if he's being handcuffed to Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, or Adam Page. I don't trust him with anything else. And I don't trust with Jon Moxley because I've seen him fuck it up twice with Jon Moxley.
Some reason I don't think we're going to get a Swerve Strickland MJF match in the ring, so I don't think we'll have to worry.
I'm just saying, just in general, like, it's out of all the options you're going to pick, he's the least consistent one. He's the biggest wild card of him, nosediving this shit. Not really nosediving, but like it's just like you feel like, okay, instead of being really fun times at the top, it's like, oh, okay. I roll. At least the rest of the car was really good. That kind of shit. So they run that risk. There's a real liability there. Really is.
It's just gonna be this edgelord bullshit. I think the Diddy thing is really bad. I think that's really bad.
It's definitely a bad omen. It can definitely be very it can be very like, oh, so he's back and he's back to the bullshit. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, just hope he don't get no friends. That he comes, they start doing that shit with. Like, they run another brochachos, I'm out of here. For real.
Yeah, it's like MJF. I had this thought. I was like, eventually, James, like, there will be a day that we don't do One Nation Radio, right? And perhaps there will be a wrestler that where it's like, you know what? Thank God I ain't got to review this motherfucker. Or they're the person that basically is like, you know what? They put into this shit. There's a high possibility that one day MJF will be the person that makes us turn the fucking mics. Look, that makes us turn the fucking mics off. It'd be like,
and to be fair, let's say it was like 2026 where it happened, right? You can't even say it's just him. It'll be like he's just the final straw, because it'd be like WWE stinks. Like New Japan is it just they got their hands up their asses too, and Tony Khan just has this fucking fixation on this one fucking guy over these other three guys are the actual guys. Like, that could definitely be the death knell. That could be the death knell. Yeah.
Like, I can imagine having to come on this show for like 12 consecutive weeks and be like, I've had enough. fuck this. Like,
12 weeks?
like
Nah.
the way we were at, like, when he had the belt last time, essentially. Like, I remember from All Out until the time he fucking lost it, it was like a fucking weekly, like, grilling of, like, what the fuck is this? And in that, you had that Jay White shit. You had the fucking Devil storyline. You had the horrible fucking All-In main event.
Right.
You had all this
Speaking
shit.
of that,
You had the rise of
Speaking of
Swerve and
that-
Hangman against each other during this, outperforming that shit, out-kicking it, and
Yep.
they're going to have to out-kick this motherfucker again. And they will. I promise you they will.
hey man, I got a question for you because I don't remember. What was Jay White out for? Shoulder?
I don't know what he's injured with, honestly.
He's been going for a
He's been
hot
going
minute.
a while. Yeah. Yeah, he's on the shelf.
Chat, can y'all tell us what Jay White's been out with? I feel like it was a shoulder thing. That would explain because shoulders take a while.
Yeah.
But he's been going for a minute.
Yeah. And that was another guy. He shat on that guy, like, in that build.
Yes, he did.
And everything like that.
In the words of, we're recalling the words of Gary Payton after Vince Carter dunked on the 7'2" French dude. He wiped his ass with him.
And the thing is, like, MJF is trying to wipe his ass with just about everybody. He doesn't realize that, like, all these guys kind of work in, like, conjunction with each other, and they need each other to help, like, pull each other up at different times. If you're gonna shit on every single one of these guys,
Are you telling me that MJF doesn't understand community?
correct. Which is crazy. Seeing where his origin, his country of origin, and all that shit is, like, he should understand community.
I'm not stepping where you trying to step. Leave it at
Seamus
that.
Nova,
I'm not going there with you.
I'm just imagining MJF ruining Kevin Knight's momentum, crying. Yeah, everyone, stay clear. Stand back and stand by. Like, if you're a wrestler in the AEW locker room and you're listening to this show, do what you have to do to remain pure, to remain unscathed by the fucking windmill that is Maxwell Jacob Freeman coming through this company. Let that shit pass by you and be like, you know what? That's some crazy shit happening over there. Anyway, let's get on to what the fuck we got going on over here. Let that let that bullshit happen on that side, because there's gonna be plenty of bullshit.
All right. You move on.
Yeah.
All right. So where's you next, sir?
Oh man. 10 matches this year that we can talk glowingly about.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So I wrote 10 matches down that I liked a lot, that I felt like when I was watching them, I was going crazy for. I was pumping my fist at the screen. Some of them were I was there in person. Yeah. So let's see. I guess I'll begin. Number 1, I will go with Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley at the main event of All In. I thought that.
Wait, that's your number 1 match? Is that your number 1 match or your number 10 match?
I just said 10. Why not?
Oh, okay.
I got other stuff too. So
okay.
Heyman Page is Jon Moxley. Do I have 10?
King of the North is nasty, by the way.
3, 4.
He said, James, that you see John Cena did the vibe before tapping out. That is not the same.
Actually,
I
only wrote 9 down. Hold on. I only actually wrote 9.
This man. You better come with another match real quick.
I sure am. Hold on. Yeah, okay, I'll come up with another match. Number 10, Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita at Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought this, I think at the time I called it like a psychological masterpiece. And it was like a way for like Kenny to get the international belt from Takeshita. I thought this was different from the first match that they had, but not in a bad way. I think that he still showed there were some sick spots, like with the table on the outside of the ring. Gave us that famous Don Callis gif of him jumping up and down and everything like that. Yeah, just a hater, a pure hater. So yeah,
Pure fun niggatry.
correct. I'll go with Omega and Takeshita at Revolution.
Okay, by my list, WrestleMania third or WrestleMania 41 triple threat match for I think it's the Raw Women's title or whatever. I forgot the name of the titles. I know they didn't have a Raw anymore, but whatever. But Io versus Rhea versus Bianca, laser light show. One of the most impressive athletic matches you'll see in women's wrestling anywhere in the world.
Number 9, Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley, all in main event, payoff for a huge title chase, stadium main event. If there ever was one, a way better version of what Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns tried to do. In their match, all this stuff actually made sense as far as like the run-ins. I don't think I'll ever forget hearing the pop like that Danielson got when he came up and hit that knee. That shit was so loud in the building.
In the fucking Blue Panther mask, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darby parachuting from the fucking roof. Hangman ultimately opening that fucking belt and choking Moxley out with the chain. Perhaps the single best Jon Moxley performance in his career in that match. Just like, yeah, like they were on another fucking level. And as I was sitting there fucking dismayed by Okada and Omega, like slightly before that, like it was like I still knew what the fuck was going on out here. So, yeah. Okay,
I think it's like a January or February starter match in Korakuen Hall. It's Cosmic Angels versus I got Neo Genesis. So it's Tam, Natsupoi, and Ano versus Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Miyu Masaki. Another laser light show match. This is one of those matches. This is one of the 3 matches that Dave Meltzer gave 5 stars to Tam before she retired on the way out. So yeah, this match is awesome. Like easy 4 3/4. They were killing it. Just awesome, incredible wrestling. And like, I mean, just Poi and Kid Nazumi stole the show. Awesome match. Awesome match.
Going Hangman Page versus Will Ospreay at the main event of Double or Nothing, I believe. At a time where the main events in AEW were filled with bullshit. The Owen Hart final was just like, this is the peak. This is the top of what pro wrestling should look like in 2025. That I feel like when I talk about wanting to watch, like, you know, the best athletes go at it with each other to see who's the best and walk out with the belt and be on top. I'll never forget the lighting in that match. It just looked so epic.
Yep.
I thought it was a phenomenal match. Like, just one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that later in the thing. I'm gonna talk about the match. Yeah, I know for sure you're gonna have on here later, but I just have it written down low. But I don't think at this point, like, I don't feel like trying to power rank this. I'm gonna say it now. Wrestle Dream, Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. A match that if you've never seen Gabe Kidd before, you would think, oh my God, this is the second coming of somebody special. If you've seen a bunch of Kenny Omega matches before, you're like, damn, Kenny Omega is just so goddamn good. Even while he's a shell of himself, he can still go out here and have match of the year against damn near anybody. This match is awesome. This match proved a lot for Gabe Kidd. I think he can continue to prove it even more when it gets Sushi later in the year. But this was the match where, like, he had buzz. He had definite buzz coming out of this match. And you know, just Kenny Omega's fucking awesome. Don't you niggas ever forget that shit. Like, that nigga real. Like, New Japan Kenny is some special shit, bro. If you've never seen Kenny Omega on Japanese camera, it's something different. If you think he raw in AEW, it's something different when there's only one camera or there's only 2 cameras. It's something totally different.
Going with the Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay from All In. I will never forget being at All In, and then it felt like these niggas snapped their fingers and was like, we gonna turn this entire crowd up ourselves. You've all seen the one sequence that goes viral all the time that always gets shared, and seeing that in person for the first time, it was like, these are the guys that do that shit. They invented this shit. Like, and they're in there with fucking Swerve and Will, who, you know, mastered all that shit essentially, you know, years ago, and they just have like an all-time tag team classic, I think. And it was just I remember the finish thinking, like, I didn't know who was going to win going into it. I thought the Young Bucks were going to win, and the pop and was so fucking loud. You know, it was the last like kind of major match that we saw Will in, or we saw him in the cage also, where he got destroyed and shit. But definitely missed Will Ospreay. It was a miracle he made it to All In, and considering the neck and everything like that, they did a lot to take care of him during that match. And yeah, it was great. It was the Young Bucks at like the peak of their probably like what will be like their, if I had to guess, like their last like heel run. That is like, you know, where it looks like they're like, I don't know. It was just special. I hate to like, you know, stumble over my words and everything, but I really loved that match, and it just felt like only these guys can do this, and it just felt special.
Yeah, I will be talking about that match later. Yeah. So is this number? Is this 7? Yeah, 7, I think. Bermuda versus FTR. At Full Gear just recently, AEW World Tag Title match. This is, you know, we talk about it like FTR this year. They have, you know, been on their best behavior in their run in AEW. You know, like on screen anyway. And this match with Brodito taking the belts off of them, this match they gave Bandito a million things, and they had to kill Brody to keep him from making a play on this to save Brodito from this Bandito from this onslaught. And the match is awesome. It's just Bandito may be the best in-ring performer in the world this year, and this was another display of him just being an incredible wrestler. And honestly, like this is the only Bandito match here. I could have put the Takeshita match over here with Ring of Honor. I didn't, but I mean he's a killer. Like we're about to get into this section right now. There's about to be a lot of Brodito and Okada in Takeshita in a second. So stay tuned.
Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita.
That match is so fucking good.
The weekend so of All In, it was like, yo, a luchador and a Japanese guy got in the ring in Texas. I was like, that's a great ground for them to meet on, right? And just electric kickouts, electric like power offense from both of them, placing the spots back and forth, kickouts, false finishers, you know, whatever you want to call them. And it was just like, all right, man, this is top of the sport stuff right here. Like, this is who I want to see fighting for world belts. Like, this is the matches I want to see, you know, for the world belts. I'm sorry. I'm cursed with it. Like, you know, like, these niggas showed me this, right? And this is what I want now. Why would you show me these things if I can't have it? So,
KG.
Yes, this is what I want. Give me what I want.
This man with KG and Batista back to back, that's nuts.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay. Number 6 for me. The unified title thruway match between Okada, Takeshita, and Masker Dorada. I believe that was what the pay-per-view before Full Gear, right? Was it All Out or was it All Out? All Out.
Wrestle
Man.
Dream.
Oh no, you're right. Wrestle Dream. Man, this match fucking cooked. It absolutely cooked. It was like a light show. This might have been like outside of the Young Bucks match with Ospreay and Swerve, like the athletic killer match of the year in AEW. Just the amount of things that were gotten to get this done, and then like to have the finish put in place where like Okada steals the win from Takeshita, and then just still hangs it over his face. I loved it, and like this is on the run of like Okada was having a killer match on pay-per-view, and I was just loving it because you know we talked about it at the end of the year where it's like, you know, people love to doubt Okada, and then he goes out here and he has a banger match, and then they shut up, and then you know a week go by and they go back to talking shit. And I just love watching him just, you know, shut people up from time to time when it's his time to do it. So this is a killer match, and the catch was fucking awesome.
Will Ospreay.
Also important thing about this match. This was is very important. He is Masquerado might be the most volatile high level pro wrestler in the business right now. Going, he can have you he can give you 5-star effort, or his execution makes you be out here being like, bro, I want this to end now. Like bad Lucha is bad. It was worse than any other wrestling, and when he's bad, sometimes it looks awful. And this time he had all this shit together that night, and it was special.
I'm going with Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita from AEW Dynamite in Boston. I'll never forget how that building looked. You talk about part 2, essentially, of like what they did against each other in from Revolution 24. This was like, I think this was a semifinal match in the Owen tournament, and it was just like, yo, bro, like, those are aliens. Like niggas can't just walk in there and go to wrestling school and then be like, you know what, I want to learn how to do that. They be like, well, who gonna teach you? Because it ain't gonna be me.
Right.
You know, like that is, them niggas is unbelievable, dog. Like,
yeah. I'm actually now kicking myself out. I forgot about that match entirely, but that match would have made my list if I remembered about that. Number 5 for me, Brodito versus Okada and Takeshita. This was a godly tag match. This match had everything going for it. It had from the selling of of Bandito's shoulder throughout the build to the match, to the tension and the hatred of Okada versus any other young nigga from Japan that he sees. It was all there, and it was on display. And at the end of it, Okada, he gets beaten because of his own hubris. Like he wanted to show up to Kesha. Ultimately, leads to him getting beaten by the better wrestler that night in Bandito, trying to prove something to Okada. I'm sorry, to Kesha, and it backfired. And it was just an incredible match. It was damn, that match was good. Like I've already said it. Like Bandito might have been the best wrestler in the world this year, and this is one of the matches that highlighted that. This is one of his 5 best matches to say something. He was nuts this year. Nuts.
Next, I'm going with a rematch between Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay that went to a draw on Dynamite before they linked up to basically come together to fight the Young Bucks. They went to a 30-minute draw. I believe this was in Phoenix, Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. This felt like a main event. This opened the show, and it felt like a main event just dropping out of nowhere. And it was like super thoughtful, I thought. And it was like, I remember at the time, I remember when MJF and Adam Cole did that draw, and people were going fucking nuts. I was like, no, nigga, this wiped the floor with that shit. Like, and it was like, like, it was so well done, and it was like, it did a lot to make them to establish like what they were going to be in the short term. And I think that was like, just like, as far as like you're looking like, all right, man, who are the big stars, who is like having the best matches and stuff like that. It's like these are 2 of the guys. Like, they're like, we know that we saw the picture of the 3 guys. It's Swerve, Hangman, Ospreay. Right?
Yep.
Ain't no MJF in that shit. Ain't no 21. Ain't no 22. Like that's what I'm saying with this shit. It's like these niggas were competing with each other, working with each other. Like there was so much about that match I loved. Like, and if you didn't see it, go out of your way to see it.
Number 4 for me, AEW World Title match, Texas Death, all in Texas. John Moxley versus Adam Page. This match had everything. Rich already went over it. Match is incredible. Best John Moxley performance in a long, long time. And like Adam Page, like, has a moment like that, has performance like that, and you're just like looking around months later, like, what the fuck are they doing with this guy? Are you kidding me? Oh well.
It's tough. Number 3, side commentary.
We're not done talking about Adam Page on my list, by the way.
We got Sai Kamatani versus Tam Nakano, the retirement match. You want to talk about women's wrestling and the peak of it right here, and storytelling, and there's so many great dynamics in this. Career on the line. There's like teacher student. There's so much in this. Very emotional match. Just like it did crazy business. This allowed Saya Kamatani to win Tokyo Sports MVP. That's just an insane accomplishment. She's the first woman to ever win this. That's right.
Yep.
Not Manami Toyota. Not Aja Kong. Not Akira Hokuto. None of them. Not what's her name? Not Meiko Satomura.
Chigusa Nagayo.
Nanai
I'm not continuing
Takahashi.
this. No, I'm not doing this with you. You got
None
it.
of them.
You don't know. You don't know with this.
Io Shirai. Mayu Watani. Kyrie. You didn't want to put her over?
Oh boy.
How about it now? Saya Kamatani on top. But
Not Kenny Omega. Press it. Press it.
I was thinking to the women.
That was a suggestion in the chat. You might need to throw him out of here for that one, Rich.
But yeah,
all right.
As far as that match, love that match, and everyone should see it.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, Swerve and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. Incredible match. I think it was the best match in all in Texas. And the crazy douchey interest that the Young Bucks had, ultimately at the end of that, to be beaten, and the stakes involved were if the babyfaces had lost, they could not challenge for the AEW World Title for a year. And for the happy ending at the end of that, where the Young Bucks get embarrassed, and apparently like losing EVP powers means you're broke now, which has sent them on this spiraling journey back to Kenny Omega. And yeah, it's been very good. It's been very rewarding all throughout the year. Broke ass Young Bucks has been the gift that kept on giving throughout 2025, and this was the start of it. This match was incredible. I don't know where to rate this as far as Young Bucks match in AEW, but there ain't too many that I put above it. Like, I think it's better than any FTR match they've had. Yeah. I think it's better than all but like the best stuff with like the Lucha Bros, to be quite honest with you, and also the match with Kenny Omega and Hangman. Outside of that, I think it's right there. So yeah, incredible match.
Number 2, I'm going to go with the first Hiroki Goto versus Zack Sabre Jr. match, where Goto wins the championship. Super emotional match. I think the best Zack Sabre match that I've ever watched. I really felt like connected to what he was doing in the ring. I was rooting for Goto so hard. The building was just molten. It actually followed up a really great match before this that just missed a cut for me. It was Gabe Kidd and Yota Tsuji. Same night, new beginning. It felt like, what? Go with the old guy. He can do it, and he had a really good run over the summer, and this is where he won that belt. And this was like one of the, I think, best IWGP title changes. I think I can recall, especially in the last couple years or whatever. Like, this shit was like way high up there. Goto was always a guy that everybody loved, and I think that love, shined throughout the summer as he held the belt. And, sometimes the good guys get one.
Mm-hmm. And then that man said, now if you excuse me, I need to go out here and do Street Fighter. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Number 2. The final of the Owen between Adam Page and Will Ospreay. The setup of this match where they are both so determined to get themselves their own version of redemption for failing to win the title at different points, and also to put it into the death grip the Death Riders had over the AEW World Title, and being locked away in that briefcase, for them to ultimately come to the decision that they're going to have a respect built out of this match and the end of it coming out of it, where they were so dead set on them both basically being like, I'm the main character of my own, and I control my own destiny, to them, Osprey basically being like the bigger man and saying, look, win, lose, or draw, like it's not about me, it's about like AEW. In a way, like it felt like everything you would have wanted back in the day out of a story for WCW to topple NWO, but it never happened. And ultimately that leading to Osprey being the heart and soul of this company, or the catalyst, if you will, the driving force to get the baby faces to kind of work and pull in the same direction towards getting, with the ops and with Swerve, getting rid of the Young Bucks EVP shit, getting rid of the Death Riders, and like this was the start of it, and this led to the picture that we talk about with all three of those guys in the locker room together. Like this should have been like the thing you go back and look to is like this carried the next 5 years of this company. We'll see.
Number 1, Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. At this rate, what could be the last great vintage, all-time, God-level Kenny Omega performance? Possibly that could happen. He was looking rough in that match last night. Fired back up during points of it, but when I watched this match on January 5th, I felt alive again. And I saw the reaction of watching it live, just how Twitter was feeling. It felt like every big Kenny Omega match in the Dome there ever was. The ones against Will Ospreay, the ones against Okada, the ones against Tanahashi, Jericho. And it was just like, I was so excited about this match coming into it because I had limited exposure to Gabe Kidd. Yeah, it made Tanahashi cry. Yeah, exactly. I know that a stiff breeze can make Tanahashi cry, but this is also very, this was notable that this happened. I was very excited about this because Gabe Kidd came in just with a ball of this, like, very tough guy energy. Like, he was coming to fuck Kenny Omega up, essentially. And he was coming to fuck him up from, a lot of different angles, like physically. And then he also was almost like, yeah, dog, like, I think I'm going to try to take the trap from you too, essentially. And it was like, I don't think it worked out as much as, I would have liked it to from that match. But when it was on this night, it was like really incredible. You thought a superstar was made in one night earlier, like James said. Robert, I'm going to answer your question in just a minute if you hang on. But I think that obviously, like, Kenny goes over and wins. There's the huge shit on commentary with like Chris Charlton and going crazy and all this stuff. And it was a lot of like kind of fallout. People wanting, a war, I think, that would later kind of culminate later in the year. But I thought this was a special match. I think it's this generation's Austin and Brett, and in a lot of ways, I don't think there was necessarily like a super double turn or anything. There was just some leaning and playing with it a little bit. And I have watched that match 4 times, I think, in total, which is fairly high. I don't really rewatch a lot of matches and all that, but for one night, I saw the look in Kenny Omega's eyes that I have not seen again this year. He had it, like, and he was ready. Then some went left somewhere. And Gabe Kidd was phenomenal in that match. Like, people can have issues with Gabe Kidd or anything like that. That nigga was all time in that one.
He was definitely there to play. And hold up his end of the bargain. And he performed. He had a great performance. Yeah. So Robert. So what we normally do is we normally run our shows live around this time on Thursdays. Given that it's the end of the year, our schedule's going to be kind of weird. We might come back on to review the weekend of World's End. We don't know yet, but we'll keep you posted. If you look through the channel, you can find our Twitter stuff, and we'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
as we go through the end of the year with
If
Christmas
you
and holidays
subscribe
and
to the
Russell
channel,
and all
we
that
got
shit.
clips, we got all that shit. Like everything's just back years and years. Check us out.
Yeah, yeah. So number one for me, Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamatani, red belt match, retirement match. Tam loses, she retires. Um, a match that's so good that it's one of those things where, like, even though this woman came into my radar by impressing me, she figured out a way to keep impressing me after 5 years, basically. Um, as Rich mentioned it, this is a student versus teacher match. This is the match that more or less kickstarted Kamatani becoming Ace of Stardom and springboards her way to becoming the Tokyo Sports MVP. I saw a video clip of Kamatani talking about winning the award, and she said that, like, somewhere I hope Tam is listening, and I thank her, and like this is one of the first time it actually hit me that Tam's retired. Listening to her today, and yeah, I've just been in denial about it, and I'm just trying to hold on to the denial, and Kamatani will say nice things and just want to ruin it for me. So damn her. But yeah, this match is awesome. It's super emotional. It wouldn't be Tam's last match if it wasn't emotional. And all time match to center to give Kamatani the Twilight Dreamers are finish as a super finish on the way out. Like we talked about this before at different points throughout the year. Like one of the all time, I will do everything in my power to get this person over because of I see a dollar sign on their head or I just love them. Either one is good enough for the fandom, and this match was an all-time match. I think I've only given 4 matches starting 5 stars. This is one of them. Um, Killer match, all-time match, all-time finish and ending of a match. Super emotional. One of the best endings to a show I've ever seen too. As far as the way the lights went out with them two on top of the ramp with the black and white feathers falling to the sky with the smoke and Tam kind of like looking over the horizon to, the end of her career. It was awesome.
So what you're saying is it was better than John Cena's retirement, James.
Tam wiped their ass with them.
Awesome.
Tam wiped their ass with Cena and Gunther.
So I guess that'll wrap it up. But another year in the books, calendar year of O&R, and always a fun show to do. And we're happy to even today new listeners discovering the show. Yeah, man, just having a blast doing it, and it's crazy like how FOH is doing this year. I'm looking at it, and it's just like, yo.
Yeah,
we getting lit. We getting lit on the low, just a little bit, Shit, crazy story. I was backstage at AEW last week. I was hanging out with Ernest the Cat Miller, for like over an hour and a half, whatever. Love the cat.
Did y'all work on kicks together?
We actually did.
Holy shit!
So
all right.
He actually
we might be trying to wrap this show soon.
He gave me his phone number, and he apparently has like property out by me. Whatever, he invited me to when I'm ready to come train with him a little bit. I was like, what the fuck is my life? Like, so shout out to Ernest Miller. Shout out to Glacier as well. I was chilling with Glacier. Man, I met Jeff Jarrett. Took a picture with him. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, shout out to Double J.
Nasty work. Now, when you took that picture, you posted, and you're like, I know this gonna fuck James up, ain't it? I know you said no, this gonna fuck James up, ain't it? This gonna ruin his move for like 3-4 minutes, ain't it?
Yeah. So
like nasty.
Talked to so many fucking people backstage. Like it's just a laundry list of folks and shit like that. But yeah. So it was a fun time at the Atlanta show. It's a great building, incredible crowd. They deserve a pay-per-view. I just don't know how it's ever going to happen because the building that they need is like someone's on the WWE board.
Oh, State Farm. State Farm.
Yeah. And the show and the building they run now is too small for a pay-per-view. So, hopefully they figured something out.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Trying to think of any announcements we need to make. Any announcements?
FOH. Make sure you go get it. On the pay hip and the link. Pay what you want. Check it out.
But pay something. But pay something.
Pay something.
You want to talk about that?
Sure.
We're gonna leave it alone.
I mean,
Rich saw someone. Decide to donate with a hot $0, and Rich wanted to go into that man's hard drive and take it back.
Let me get it back, player. Look, the option is there. Look, I don't want to keep anybody from the podcast, right? But, and I know times is hard. It's a recession. I understand. But, like, fuck with me. You know, that fuck with us. That's all we saying. Fuck with us. You know, like, $1. You know, it's $1 in a dream. You know.
Yeah. You know, times hard, but let nigga hold something. Like, come on, like, what you doing? What you doing? All right, y'all. Be sure to I'll put the new link to the new one in the show notes or whatever else. So that's in the show. Be sure to rest whatever app you're using to listen to this with. If you're watching the stream, along with the show, like the video along with the show notes stuff. You also see the link to a red circle if you want to donate some more. We're gonna keep passing around this collection plate. Keep passing around. We ain't gonna lock the doors on you, but we're gonna keep passing around. But besides that, listen to other shows besides Motion Radio. You have Keep It Strong Style, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, Imps Adventures, Wrestling Out with Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, and the Tristan Sarah Wrestling podcast. By the way, I listened to because they had mentioned I had zoned out on it. Them taking a flamethrower to that title change, with Joe getting champion. Oh man, Sarah fucked them up. Sarah, body blow, like killing over because they kidneys can't take no more damage. Oh, she was killing them. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
And Trish was out here dying laughing all that shit too. So yeah, great job. So thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Can't wait to hear from them later this month.
Good point. Be prepared. More body blows.
Peace, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Yep. Later, y'all.